Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. One, two, three. Journey to the center of the earth. Late one Sunday afternoon in May 1863, my uncle, Professor Lidenbrock, came home early. We lived in a house in the city of Hamburg. He was very excited. Martha, our cook, was worried. Why is Professor Lidenbrock here so early? She cried. His dinner isn't ready yet. I told Martha not to worry, and she went back to the kitchen. I started to go upstairs to my room, but Uncle Otto's voice stopped me. Axel, come here, she shouted. I entered his room. My uncle was sitting at his desk. He was looking at an old book. Look at this, he exclaimed. What a fantastic book. It's more than 600 years old. It's wonderful. What's this wonderful book called? I asked. My uncle did not hear me at first. He kept opening and shutting the book and talking about it to himself. I repeated my question. This book is a translation of a famous Icelandic book. It was written by Snorri Sturluson in the 12th century. Ah, what's this? A piece of parchment fell out of the book. There were strange letters written on it. My uncle picked it up and looked at it. He became even more excited. Look, it's written in runes. What are runes, uncle? I asked. Runes are the letters of the old Icelandic alphabet, of course. My uncle replied impatiently. I can read runes, but I can't understand this. What does it mean? And he began to talk to himself again. I was used to that because my uncle Otto was a little strange sometimes. He gave lectures at the University of Hamburg. He was a famous geologist. He knew more about the Earth than any other scientist. Other geologists came from all over the world to learn from him. I learned about geology from him. He was a very good teacher. When my parents died, I came to live with them. I often helped him in his work. I was proud to be the assistant of such a famous man. He started to walk up and down the room with the parchment in his hand. He looked puzzled. When he was puzzled, he usually became angry. He was getting angry now. Martha opened the door of the study. The soup is ready, Professor, she said. Okay, shouted my uncle. Martha closed the door and ran back to the kitchen. I followed her and sat down to dinner. Martha was a very good cook, and I was hungry. I was just finishing my dinner when my uncle called my name again. I got up from the table immediately and rushed back to his study. My uncle was sitting at his desk. He was staring at the parchment. These are runes, he said, but the letters are mixed up. That's why I cannot understand it. It's written in a secret code. And there is something else. Hello, Hisham Khatib. Welcome. Arni Seknussim, he exclaimed. Oh, that's an Icelandic name. Seknussim was a famous Icelandic scientist of the 16th century. He made many great scientific discoveries. He must have owned this book. But why should Arni Seknussim want to hide what he had discovered? I asked. Why should he keep it a secret? I don't know, my uncle replied, but I'm going to find out. I'll neither eat nor sleep until I have discovered the secret. My uncle guessed that the message was written in Latin and not Icelandic. Scientists of the 16th century always wrote about their discoveries in Latin. He tried reading the letters forwards, then backwards, but they still made no sense. He hit his desk with his fist. That's not it, he cried. It doesn't make any sense. And he ran out of the house and slammed the door behind him. Martha and I watched him go. He has gone without his dinner, she said. He will starve. Okay, that's chapter one. Oh no. When Martha when Martha had gone, I picked up the parchment and studied it. I tried to arrange the letters so that they formed Latin words, but it was impossible. I tried I tried even combination of letters I could think of, but I still couldn't make any sense of it. I became hot. I felt I couldn't breathe, so I picked up the parchment and started to fan myself with it. While I was sitting in front of the window, I saw the back of the parchment and then the front. Suddenly, I saw some Latin words which I knew: craterum, a crater, terrestre, of the earth. You can imagine how excited I was. I had broken the secret code. At last, I calmed down. Now let's see what it says, I said to myself. I spread the parchment out in front of the window and started to read it. I managed to understand all of it. For some moments I sat there without moving. I was frightened by what I had read. Was it possible? Had this really happened? Had some man really been brave enough to do this? And then I jumped up out of my seat. Oh no, I cried. My uncle must not find out about this. When he reads this, he will want to do it himself. He will want to take me with him. We will never return to Hamburg. I must stop him from reading it. I took the parchment over to the fire. I was just going to burn it when the door opened and my uncle appeared. I just had time to put the parchment back on the table. My uncle did not see me. He was still thinking about the secret message. He studied the parchment all night. I fell asleep on the couch. When I woke up, it was morning. My uncle was still staring at the parchment. His face was white, and his eyes were red. I felt sorry for him. I knew the secret of the parchment, but I could not tell my uncle. I knew he would want to follow in the footsteps of the old Icelandic scientist. That would be very dangerous. The morning passed. There was no breakfast and no lunch. I was very hungry. I started to change my mind about telling him of my discovery. Surely I could stop him from making such a dangerous journey. About 2 o'clock, my uncle put on his hat to go out. I decided to tell him. Uncle Lidenbrock, I said, have you found the secret of that code? He said nothing, but he shook his head and stared at me. I think I have found the answer, I said. I showed him the words I had written down. Go down into the crater of Sniffles, which the shadow of Scartaris touches before July. Then you will reach the center of the earth. I've done this. Arni Seknusu. When my uncle read this, he gave a great cry and jumped to his feet. Books flew everywhere. He walked up and down for a few moments. Then he turned to me. He asked me the time. I told him it was 3 o'clock. My uncle was surprised. At the time, he asked, we must have some lunch, and then pack my box. What? I asked. After that, pack your own box, he said. I tried to tell my uncle of the danger of the journey, but he would not listen. And he walked out of the room. We ate lunch together, and then he called me into his study. Axel, he said kindly, you are a very clever young man, and you have helped me greatly. I will not forget this. Now bring me that atlas from the bookshelf. I did as my uncle asked. He showed me the places Arni had written about the map of Iceland. I saw that Sniffles was a huge mountain, nearly 2,000 meters high. But this mountain is a volcano. You can't go down into the center of a volcano. You would die of the heat, I said. My uncle smiled, but Sniffles is an extinct volcano. It has not erupted since the year 1222. Now it's quite cold. Sniffles has several craters. Only one leads to the center of the earth. Arnie tells us that the mountain Scartaris casts its shadow over this crater at the end of June. But everyone knows that the center of the earth is very hot. It's impossible to go there and come back alive. My uncle smiled. Impossible, is it? Well, we are scientists and we should go there and see for ourselves. We leave for Iceland the day after tomorrow.